Alright guys, welcome back to the 76 Addo Adventure video. More particular, even though we are going to be covering some Grand Cross news too, but there are some new coupons, one for our game over on 76 Addo Adventure, and also one over towards 76 Grand Cross 2. They've just got a new character, we'll talk about that, and we've also gotten some little bit of teasers about what could be coming. So here we go, this is, I guess, our confirmed release date for the anniversary. We cannot really know about it, but it says look forward towards August 11th. That will be when we get the character. Actually, to be fair, it's the 11th is the patch notes. The 12th when we get the actual update, right? But it kind of annoys me a little bit, right? We have been waiting for our summer character. And to be fair, so has Grand Cross. It's kind of weird how both games have just skipped the summer characters. And then even the artwork they show right now for one, this is our idol side. They showcase swimsuit Jericho. Who wasn't a character, but was a outfit in game and had, you know, official artwork. And I've been saying, yo, why not make that into a character? Granted, we've just gotten a new Jericho recently, so we're probably likely not going to be getting this character for like part 2 towards anniversary. But, you know, over on the Grand Cross side, this being a code here, you get one UR pen, and they probably got the short straw of it a little bit. They showcase Gilo, given the two characters, it makes sense. They probably likely just used two artwork for the characters, just to say, hey, we're doing a crossover. These are like two characters that work well together, and you know, it's summer right now, technically, right? So it makes sense. But I really hope, if anything, this does tease we're going to be getting a Gila for our part 2. I just want a swimsuit character. Is that too much to ask for? And if they do actually do this, this would be very, very cool because, like I had to say, this is never officially a character. It was an outfit, but you had, like, official artwork in a sense. So it'd be very, very cool if they do that. But yeah, for our actual coupon code, if you enter it, remember, if you don't want to do it, you go towards game settings, go towards account, click redeem code, and then put it in, right? And then R1 is actually going to give us nothing too crazy, but you do get 1,000 energy, which, to be fair, is actually probably the best you could have given us, unless they're just giving us like 4 10k gems. I mean, guys, when I have over 1 million gems, they give me like 1k or 300. You're not going to notice it, right? 1k energy, though, we do notice it, so I actually do take that. But I want to bring some attention towards the actual name of the event, the Blazing Hot Cross. Now, granted, you could argue the logos for like Grand Cross, especially because it's called Cross, is you know, this like blazing hot cross, essentially, right? But I really wonder if they're using the term blazing hot as a indication that we're going to be getting the one Escanor, right? Because obviously everyone right now is expecting the one Escanor. But if we jump over towards the Grand Cross side, you know, we knew these guys coming. Thought he might have been a swimsuit character, but he just revealed the newest character being a Sotmo Meliodas, right? And I did bring up the question in my little prediction video about what we could be seeing, Escanor or obviously, you know, Meliodas. What could we see? And I did bring up the question, is it possible we both get the same characters? Because technically this is a Sot Melly, right? Now I will say, hope we don't. I do like the artwork a little bit and how he looks kind of cool, but I can't lie and say the outfit itself isn't the greatest in a sense. So I would much rather us just get the original Sot Melly, because this, to be fair, doesn't look like a Sot Melly. It looks like D Meliodas, right? Funny enough, he has got Lost Fame, and I don't think in the kit he has Lost Fame. So tragic. But one thing I want to bring attention to is the playstyle of the character. So look, they don't need to one-to-one copy how they play in Grand Cross when they come towards Addo Adventure, right? But there have been some similarities. Like, if you look at like Emperor, like Escanor, if you look at his thing right here, the one at the pinnacle, grants high noon to stealth every 3 seconds, which in terms of Grand Cross would have been every single turn. And when the character reaches max stacks, he then removes all debuffs and gains debuff block, or in Grand Cross sense, gains debuff immunity. So like there has been that mechanic of like it copying from Grand Cross in a sense. And you know, we've been talking about it a lot on this channel, or at least towards the Sot Melly, how he could play eventually in towards the game of 76 Addo Adventure. But one thing I've noticed is like a lot of the characters for the commandments are all resetting cooldowns, and one of the biggest buffs you could probably get from a commandment character is being a tank character. So Derriere does work with them, where you reset their cooldowns and also give them a 20% attack buff. So I've been bringing up the question, what if a Sotmo Meliodas in our game is a tank character? I know your first initial thought might be, no, a Sot Melly needs to be a DPS, needs to be the best damage dealer in the game, right? But in the tank role is just a role. It doesn't really mean anything, right? Like, you have obviously Derriere, like if you look at her stats compared to other, you know, DPSs, you know, was it almost 2 million attack, and then was it 90 or 18 million HP go towards Berserk Melee. Derriere's got almost double the defense and almost triple, no, literally triple the HP. It doesn't matter what role they are. They could be a pseudo like tank DPS character, and then going towards like pitch back melee, he's a DPS, but he's a debuffer as well, right? With this ultimate. So when we do eventually get a Sot Melly in the game, he could be a tank character. And if you look at the way they designed this Meliodas right here for Grand Cross, He's a tank character. Literally, all he does is taunts enemies, increases HP, does single target damage, which I think, to be fair, our melee should do some AoEs. At least the ultimate will be this dark pressure, right? You gotta assume. Where he's gonna slam the floor down, do a massive AoE. Very likely wipe out the board a little bit. But yeah, he's a tank character. So like the theory or the idea of Assault Melee being a tank character is now true. So yeah, man, who knows when we do eventually get towards the actual, Assault Melee, would he actually be a tank character? I think it's very likely now. I can't even lie to you lot. We also got our 9th volume of the developer notes. Nothing too crazy in here, just more or less questions people have been asking, apparently, I guess. But we kind of want to go down towards this one down here. Just saying that in the past, they used to do a lot of borders, and then now they kind of slowed down a little bit. That's probably more towards the team shrinking a little bit in comparison towards like how the game was when it first came out. Only natural, right? But did you say it's a little bit awkward to make some artwork for the borders because it's limiting due to the Star Wars Services IP? And normally I don't agree with that in a sense of like, there's no limitations. You can do you can do what you want. I know the suits behind the scene do limit it a little bit, right? But I feel like you can probably do like more. But I feel like you could probably just do one for every character, which I don't think they've done yet. And even then, you can probably still do like 2, 3 of each character in a sense. But then again, I don't really care too much about borders. But did you say we're going to be getting some borders for the first anniversary? Makes sense. And this one was kind of cool a little bit. So we have our mini games in game right now. We go towards it right now. It's kind of hidden in the corner of the top left. Your little mini games, which the rewards are pretty decent. When they first came out, I didn't actually mind it. So right now, you lot don't know, there's like first time clear rewards. A little more valuable in the start of the game because you are very restricted. Kind of right now, they've just been giving out everything, right? But for example, you get like a special legendary ticket, which I think at the time guaranteed the Berserk Meliodas or Gopher, which was like a little bit more valuable. And that this was for every single game mode. I remember some of them being pretty decent. Once again, another Berserk Melee, right? I mean, they made this game mode a lot more easier, but like this one gave you a guaranteed Zeldris. So like this was some pretty good rewards, right? And they have confirmed during the first anniversary part 2, so on the 25th, right? So it's not part 2, it's in like the dead week of the update. Part 2, literally the new character. They are going to be resetting the rankings and first clear rewards for all 3 minigames. So we are able to go in and claim them again. Hopefully, that does mean we get updated rewards because, yeah, it's only this one would be valuable because at least here it guarantees Zeldris, which I guess everyone's not fully gotten maxed out yet, or like a Lilia. But do you want Lilia now? Withdrawing the game? Probably not. So hopefully with the release of Escanor or even Assault Melee, whoever the character is, probably likely Escanor, right? We need a festival Escanor. It should be hopefully updated towards the special tickets 4, which includes Escanor, hopefully, and you can get a guaranteed Escanor. Maybe even on all 3 of the rewards. That'd be pretty sick. Yeah, kind of just going back towards this little event here. It does says hot summer is heating up and a special cross event with Services Out Adventure is headed your way on August 12th. The actual update of the game when we actually get it. We're dropping a coupon for all nights to use. Get ready for a surprise. And a Services Exit Blazing Hot cross reveal coming soon. Fire. They're really like... It does feel like the teasing Escanor, right? So I think... we can confidently say, because I mean, we always knew to be Escanor, right? The one Escanor, the one anniversary, like Series of Origin, when that comes out, we're getting the one Escanor for the anniversary, right? It's just, it writes itself. There's no way you cannot do it. But I will say, with the release of obviously back-to-back commandments, kind of starting to get the vibe a little bit that they're gearing up towards the Assault Melee, with Zeldris also re-releasing. And it even Grand Cross getting Assault Melee. It was, it felt like, yo, this is actually gonna, could be possible a little bit. But all these little like stuff is definitely hinting towards me that we're gonna be getting a Escanor, and then maybe for part 2 we can finally get a summer character, which I think lines up a little bit with Grand Cross getting Skadi for their end of month, which I think should also be a summer character. And I hope it's get Aguila. I mean, obviously it's on the Grand Cross forms. They just kind of use both artworks. I would love to get Jericho, but that we're gonna get back to back Jericho. Obviously, we're still missing some of the transform characters from the Codex, which I don't think Escanor's got. No, Escanor's already here, what I'm saying. But we are missing Diane, King, and Merlin. If we are going to get swimsuit characters, seemingly we're going to get the ones artwork from Grand Cross and not original artwork. They can slip Diane in here, and that worked perfectly. So getting like Diane for part 2 towards Escanor will be very, very cool. We are missing Merlin, but like we already have Merlin in the game already. Not to say you can't really back-to-back Merlins or somewhat in close proximity because, well, you can still use them anyway, right? And if we get Merlin here, that could work as well. Merlin Escanor makes sense. They've been spamming commandments, so maybe we get Esterosa for another standard 10 commandments, and we get new artwork for Esterosa. I mean, I did it already, but we could get like an Eastern for the catastrophes, but I did say I doubt we're going to get Eastern for part 2. Like for anniversary, you're not going to get Escanor for part 2, right? It's going to be at least someone a little bit hype, right? But hey, who knows? Maybe they just do Assault Melee back to back. It could be kind of crazy. So guys, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think, and yeah.